Hey, Sean, in making it, coming to a conclusion you feel is best for the team, what was the process like and all those involved in making this decision on Kyrie?
Hey, Michael. Morning, everybody. This process is, I think all of you guys are pretty well aware of. It's been going on for a while now, and we've been bringing all the information to a head here. And I think this is a decision that ultimately Joe Tsai and myself made. We, as always, involve a lot of people in this, but this decision came down to the two of us, and it's what's best for the organization at this point in time.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Sean. How you doing?
Good, Brian.
It seemed not that long ago, at least from the outside, that there was a resignation that Kyrie might be a part-time player, playing less than half of the games. Obviously, you said this was collaborative and there was this discussion. I'm curious, was that inaccurate? I mean, was that not accurate, that was never really an option for the team, that they were always going this way? And if that's not the case, if you guys came to a conclusion, yeah, that's just not acceptable, what tipped the scales there?
Yeah, I think we had everything on the board. We looked at everything. When you make a decision like this, it's one that you don't want to do it hastily. Again, involve all the parties. Think about all the variety of different outcomes. I think we all know what our objective is this year and how a decision like this may be able to affect that ultimate objective. So they're never easy decisions, but at the end of the day, I think we're looking at putting a group of people out there that are going to be able to participate fully, and that's where this comes down to. And we're not looking for partners that are going to be, half-time. I don't think that would be fair, not only on the team and staff and ownership and fans, but to be quite frank, not fair on Kyrie either. When you're putting somebody out there that potentially can't get the right ramp-ups and right build-ups and so forth, and look as good as he or the team should under a different set of circumstances, that's why this decision was ultimately made.
Tina Cervasio, Fox 5.
Hi, Sean. Thank you for doing this so quickly today. How involved were Kevin Durant and James Harden on making this decision?
Well, I think we have updated all the players, all the staff. Everybody knows that, these discussions were ongoing and having, but ultimately this decision was Joe Tsai and myself. And this decision came down to what we felt was the right move for the organization at this time.
Greg Logan, Newsday.
Sean, two things. Presumably, you had ongoing discussions with Kyrie. Is he just at a point where he's inflexible about changing his eligibility status for games in New York? And two, by taking this move, is it still possible that he would lose any salary for unexcused absences, or is that off the table and does he get his full salary?
Yeah, the only salary that he loses, Greg, is going to be for the home games. That's it. So, other than that, no. Your first question again, sorry? You're muted, Greg.
Yeah, I had to find my icon there. I just wanted to know about the presumably there were ongoing discussions with Kyrie ahead of it. Did he reach a point where it just became clear to you that he was inflexible about changing his eligibility for home games?
Well, Kyrie's made it clear that he has a choice in this matter, and it's ultimately going to be up to him what he decides. We respect the fact that he has a choice and he can make his own and right to choose. As again, right now, what's best for the organization is the path that we're taking. And I don't want to speak for Kyrie. At the right time, I'm sure he will address his feelings and what the path may be for him.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Sean, obviously this is kind of like uncharted territory here, but where do you guys go from here in terms of not having a player of this caliber available to your roster if he doesn't want to do what it takes to be available? Are you now going to be looking for an opportunity to move him to fill other holes in the roster, or what do you do from here as a front office?
Yeah, Christian, I don't know that I want to address the hypotheticals of what may happen in the future here. I think this is pretty raw, pretty fresh. I think we've got to let the dust settle. The hope is that we have Kyrie back. We'll welcome him back in open arms under a different set of circumstances. And so we need to wait and see how that transpires. But in the meantime, we need to focus on the 16 players that are going to be on this roster moving forward, with us, including our two-ways. So the focus needs to be with them, and our goals have not changed. The goals, ultimately still are to be the last team standing, and that's where we're going to be. And without a doubt, losing a player of Kyrie's caliber hurts from a talent perspective, no question. I'm not going to deny that, but at the end of the day, our focus, our coaches' focus, the organization's focus needs to be on those players that are going to be involved here and participating fully.
Howard Beck, Sports Illustrated.
Sorry, didn't unmute. Been a while. Hey, Sean.
Hi, Howard.
Two-part question here. Given the nature of this decision, fairly drastic and maybe unprecedented, did you consult the NBA at all on the grounds that you have as a team to do this? And secondly, do you expect any pushback potentially from the Players Association or Kyrie's camp?
All parties that needed to be consulted on this were, will there be pushback from Kyrie and his camp? I'm sure this is not a decision that they like. And Kyrie loves to play basketball, wants to be out there, wants to be participating with his teammates. But again, this is a choice that Kyrie had, and he was well aware of that. Again, we had multiple conversations about this. I think the conversations were good. They were very clear and clearly outlined. And this is this is where we stand right now today.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Sean, you just touched on this a little bit, but did you meet with Kyrie in person to break the news to him? Did you call him and just, I know you don't speak for him, but how do you think he took it?
Today is an off day, so the guys are not in, but Kyrie and all his people, his team have been involved and been included in this. Again, I don't want to get into hypotheticals or try and guess how he may be feeling at this point. I think at the right time, when he sees fit, he can address it in his own words.
Malika Andrews, ESPN.
Hey, Sean, thanks for doing this. Just two quick for you. One, can you I think I might have missed, why now was this decision that needed to be made at this point?
I don't know if there's ever a right time. I think we can all second guess of should this have been done weeks ago? Could we have waited longer? I got to be honest, nobody knows. As many of you have said, this is uncharted territory, and we're doing the best we can with the information we're being given. And ultimately, we're trying to do what's best for this organization and the group of players that are moving forward here. And for those guys to be able to continue to perform, for them to create chemistry, collaboration on the court. I think this is the fair time to do it, and to do it right now and move on.
And then just secondly, the hoping to welcome him back with open arms. How long do you think that invitation is extended?
Again, Malika, I wish I could speak on that. I don't know what's going through his head right now, and as it pertains to this particular decision and the direction he wants to take it. Again, all I can say is that he's a member of this team, but not with the group here, and we would welcome him back. But again, that would have to be under a different set of circumstances.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
Sean, I know you said your goals haven't changed, but is this a statement that the safety and welfare of your team and organization trumps the pursuit of a championship?
Well, I think what we're looking for, Bruce, is we're all living in a different environment now. And there's a lot of people that, this pandemic has affected far worse than it has affected the Brooklyn Nets. And I think that's something that we need to be very careful here not to overlook. There are countless workers who have lost jobs because of this. There's people who have lost loved ones and so forth. And this is, as I've mentioned before, this is serious. And we play a game of basketball. And although it's serious and we take our job extremely seriously, these are mandates that right now we don't have any control over. All we can do is abide by them and think that science and, the people governing, whether it's our city, whether it's our state, whether the country, are making the right calls for us all to get back and to move on into a healthier, safer environment.
Scott Cacciola, New York Times.
Hey, Sean, just for the record, can you state explicitly whether Kyrie is vaccinated?
Well, Scott, if he was vaccinated, we wouldn't be having this discussion. I think that's probably pretty clear.
Ian O'Connor, New York Post.
Hey, Sean, I realize you said that this decision was made by you and Josiah alone, but did you consult Kevin Durant on this decision? And if so, did he support the move?
All our players were made aware that this was the trajectory we're going down, and this was going to happen. Again, I will let Kevin, James, Joe Harris, Blake Griffin, all the players address it in their own words at the right time. Our hope is that we can, somewhat put this to rest and move on with the season. Again, we have, goals and aspirations to go and achieve out there, and I don't think we want it to be focused entirely on an individual that is not with the team right now.
Just one other thing, if I could. Do you feel that Kyrie effectively gave you no choice but to make this decision?
Ultimately, yes. I mean, he has a choice to make, and he made his choice. And again, my job here is to make what we deem is the best decision and best choices for the organization moving ahead and as a whole. And they're not always ones that are going to be met with open arms and a thumbs up. These are hard decisions. And just like I'm sure it wasn't easy for Kyrie either to make that, to have to be able to not be around his teammates.
That's all the time we have. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, guys.